The next collective bargaining agreement negotiation is on July 22nd at City Hall with the Uniform Union Mediator. This could and most likely will be the last mediation meeting before a settlement is reached or the two parties are sent to interest arbitration. There's a provision to that, though. If the mediator's supervisor believes that there's more that we can hash out, we could be sent back to the table again. It's been going on now, not just mediation, but the whole negotiations with the uniform union has been going on since last July. Lance and I met with Public Works Clerical Union negotiating team last Wednesday on July 9th. While good progress was made, both sides still have more ground to cover before a tentative agreement can be brought back before the City Council in an executive session. I anticipate that the next negotiating meeting will be in the beginning of August. So we'll probably be coming back to Council most likely to the last meeting of this month, which is the 27th, or the first meeting in August. One of the comments that was made by the other negotiating side was that they want to have a complete package ready and not go back and forth. They like the idea of coming to, and I do too, if we can do that, come up with some ideas that we can bring to council. So it might be a longer executive session, but it might be the one, one of the few instead of having many. So hopefully we'll go that way. Staff is currently working on preparing an RFP for a new sound system, and along with, we have one ready for the website and building and maintenance. And we'll be bringing this before the Technology Committee at the next meeting, which is set for July 23rd. My last part of this report is the most wordy. I attended the annual AWT conference with our mayor on June 24th through June 26th in Wenatchee. Preparing a comprehensive overview of the salient points that could prove helpful to the City of Pacific along with leadership and staff. There's a lot to take in, and I didn't want to really put it all here because it would use up all the time in the meeting. So I'm thinking of actually putting together a PowerPoint presentation to bring to a workshop we have for the budget because I think they tie in really well. Anyway, one of the key things I did notice for me that was interesting was that the majority of people attending were city council members, and a lot of them had questions because there's been such a change in the way cities, not only cities are being run, but the economy has changed so much that it's not what it used to be. The resources that the cities get don't come from the same place. We used to be able, I say we for small cities because I've worked for them for quite a while, but okay, for the City of Pacific, relying on Public Works Trust funds or grants from the federal government, those are going away. So how are cities going to come up with new ideas? And so there was really some excellent resources. Some of the classes I took were positioning your community for success in the new economy, checking your city vitals, earning your city's dividends, 60 ideals in 60 minutes. And that was from a panel that the mayor and I attended, which I thought was really, really good. And I got a whole page of ideas from that alone. And policy and management for doing the city's business. There were a lot of other interesting classes, and I will go over that in my report or my PowerPoint presentation. The keynote speaker was a gentleman named Lee Fisher. He's the president of CEO for Cities, or the CEO for Cities, and he had a lot of really unique ideas on how cities can succeed. And he actually has an organization where you can go to conferences and whatnot to learn from that, and you don't even have to pay just to be a member of it to get some good information. So the key points that I saw that were brought up were what tools are there now available for cities? How can cities reinvent themselves to come up with new and better ideas to market what they have, whether it be parks or downtown areas? And so I'll be bringing that to you, and I hope you're a little bit as jazzed as I was because it gave me a lot of ideas going forward on how I can help support the mayor and the council. So that's all I have today.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, of course, should be easy. Next up, community services and marketing. Bill, and I'll get a report. Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just 4 items to brief you tonight on. Start with the oldest and work to the current topics. The frontage road speed limit change with the 5th week of the month last occurring a couple weeks ago That speed limit sign has been changed, if you haven't been down there to notice that, so that is up and taken care of. The nuisance vegetation that we've been talking about as of late, I am still engaged with the property owner. The gentleman did come in on June 30th, and we've been engaged in trying to figure out a way how to mitigate this nuisance vegetation. Without spending a lot of time on this, he raises a couple of good points that with the property boundary, it is very close, and we want to find a solution that doesn't incur more cost, like conducting a survey to determine exactly where the property boundary is. So I'm working with them on a potential cost-sharing arrangement to have the tree removed. And as I get more information and we work through the details with the cost estimates of the removal, I'll report back to you how that stands. Other nuisance vegetation that has been taken care of recently, a citizen brought forward a concern about overhanging trees and branches that were hitting the top of some of the delivery vehicles along Ellingson. So on the north side of Ellingson, you may have noticed that an overhanging tree is no longer there. So that was taken care of, and I appreciate that notification. And quick sidebar for all citizens who may be listening, that if there are complaints or issues, we do want to hear about them, so please make sure, no matter how long you may have noticed something, please let us know. Of recent note, as of last week, the traffic backup that occurred on Stewart Road in the morning hour commute last week was due to a sewer blockage that occurred earlier in the week. And as our crews uncovered the blockage and investigated further to do some follow-up cleaning, it was noted that the contractor had paved over one of the manhole lids on Stewart Road during the construction project. It's not uncommon, but the backup was attributed to the contractor correcting that problem so we could have access to that manhole to continue the cleaning of the line that had the blockage. Wrapping up, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out for the Public Works crews for their support for the Pacific Days. There was a lot of behind the scenes effort, and I'm very pleased with the level of effort they undertook and the good work and the kind words that we've heard as a result. I do want to also just mention Jim Shunke in particular, that he manned a booth for us, and it gives us credit for our stormwater program, public education and outreach, as well as our conservation program in the water utility. And as a result of this, we had over 71 residents and participants stop by asking questions about some of the utilities, so that was a very good win for us and a success. And that's the report today.
Good job. You did a really good job with that. Thanks, Glenn, for sharing.